Hey y'all, so what's up? It's your girl K Lotus Live checking in again for yet another study sesh. Today is September 4th, Monday, September 4th, and it's Labor Day. So your girl's not going to be doing too much studying today because I also want to enjoy this day. But I want to clock in for about an hour to 2 hours to work on this logical reasoning section, see if I can make some improvements after reviewing with my tutor last week, and then see if I can implement some of those things that we talked about. And if I have any more time to do anything else, likely it will be logical reasoning. I mean, not logical reasoning, logic games, but I am not going to hold myself to that. Like I said, it's Labor Day and I don't want to do too much. But yeah, so just checking in to let y'all know what's going on for today's study sesh. And then at the end, as I always do, I will come back on to let y'all know how it went. Today's study sesh set up, got my logical reasoning passage, my handy dandy pencil. My watch I think is dead, but normally I would use this for my timer, but I'm gonna end up probably using my phone, or I can use my computer. Your girl also has her homemade peach green tea. I love to put in this little mason jar. I just started doing this because I think it's super cute. And then I am also about to light my favorite candle because I believe in romanticizing your study sesh. So let's get into it. GG's. Okay, y'all, so basically I did half of a logical reasoning section. So that was 12 questions out of 25 questions, and I got 6 right, 6 wrong. So I went back and reviewed all of them that I got wrong, of course, and really realized that like I'm still doing the same thing, making the same mistakes. So that was a little bit frustrating, but overall I was able to understand why I got each of the 6 wrong, and I really tried to pay attention to like what is the argument and what is the conclusion, like holding on to that with each different question type. That really helped me, like keeping that at the forefront of my brain. I'm not going to do that other half of the logical reasoning section just because my tutor and I are not going to be able to meet today. It's Labor Day and he has things to do. So I will probably come back on here on Thursday, which is because I have my internship Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm working in a nonprofit like immigration office, and so getting some practical experience is always really good for me because I've definitely been needing a break from sitting here at this desk all day studying. So yeah, that's what I did today, and then I am now about to try to work on some edits from that meeting that I had in diary entry 2, going over my personal statement and things that I need to revise and make clear, and as well as trying to make it more concise because it's way too damn long. But the content is there. So I just opened the document to find that my comments that I made during the meeting did not save, and so I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit frustrated with that. I made a few notes like on my sticky notes throughout the meeting, but the actual comments, I don't know what happened. My computer did not save them. I've looked at my recent documents and everything and still can't figure out what the heck happened. So yeah, so I'm about to try to do some work on that, probably for the next 30 minutes. But then I'm gonna shut it down because, like I said, it's Labor Day and I don't want to be doing a whole bunch of labor. So yeah, so that's the plan for the rest of today. And like I said, I will come back on likely Thursday to check in, and I will be resuming my studying then. Is it the way you want me, baby?
Bend over, come ride me like Joe Rover. All these VVS's, it get cold in Minnesota. Suck me up, don't use your teeth.
Hey y'all, so what's up? Good morning. It is Thursday, September 7th, and your girl is checking in for yet another study sesh. I have a doctor's appointment and a few errands to run today, so that means that my study sesh will probably only be about an hour and a half today. But I just got off the phone with my tutor, and we are going to be working today on Zoom together, so I'm about to log on to do that right now. And yeah, I will come back, do a little recap of what we go over. Not sure if we're going to be practicing more of logical reasoning or analytical reasoning, aka logic games. But yeah, I will update y'all and let y'all know how all of that goes. But I just wanted to come on, check in, and say what's up. And I'm kind of struggling this morning, so your girl definitely had to get some coffee. But we gonna make it work. We gonna push through. Yeah, like I said, I will come back on after I am done with my tutor, to let y'all know how it goes, how it went rather, and what we work on today.
Health and well-being. Yeah, that part's okay. I haven't got a case so far. My case has got to be in the phrase of physical activity. Choose junky food. Learning not to choose junky food, does that have anything to do with physical activity?
No.
Bingo, there's your flaw.
Yeah, so it's physical activity and nutritional choices that...
That's right, it doesn't match.
Yeah.
It's so tricky how they do that. But your tool is to break the sentence down into little pieces, evaluate each one. Often it's just one word or
that
one phrase that is completely wrong. The rest of it looks great.
Yeah, I think that one was definitely a good example of that. All right, y'all, so y'all just saw a few clips from me and my tutor's review session with each other. We were doing a review from the logical reasoning section that I worked on Monday. Because it was Labor Day, we didn't get to review together, so we just did that. I did half of that logical reasoning section, so it was 12 questions, and I got 6 right, 6 wrong. My biggest takeaways from our review today were that I need to do a better job of really putting myself in the argument. Like, what are the big picture things from the argument? Do I see a flaw? If I see the flaw, before I even get to the answer choices, trying to, put into my own words what the flaw is. What is the conclusion? Like, making sure I'm clear on that before I start looking at the answer choices is something that I'm really taking away from today. Really putting myself in the shoes as if, like, KO, you are the arguer, and how would you, like, attack the question? How would you defend it as if you were in court, right? The second biggest thing is when I am often stuck between 2 answer choices, I really need to put them against each other to see, which one is better. That's the only way that I'll be able to overcome this was the second answer choice that I was thinking, but I didn't choose it, and I end up choosing this one. Really trying to break away from that. And there was an example on here about nutritional choices versus physical activity, and I chose the answer choice about physical activity because initially the argument was talking about swimming pools and children like being active, but then it also started talking about junk food. And so in my mind, physical activity, nutrition, both of those are about well-being and being healthy, but they never talked about like physical activity, right? They did physically say nutritional choices. And so that was like a prime example of just me needing to, like, I feel like that was an easy point that I lost. I just needed to slow down, put those two answer choices that I was stuck between against each other, and the right answer would have become very clear to me. So that's definitely it. I definitely know I need to work on question types that have to do with weakening, finding the flaw, what most logically completes, which is ultimately like a conclusion question type, what would strengthen or what logically completes XYZ. I also need to work on those types of questions. So yeah, those are my takeaways from the review session on that half of the logical reasoning section. Hey y'all, so what's up? Checking in today for my study sesh. Today is Monday, September the 11th. The last time y'all saw me, I believe it was Thursday, and I was on my way to a doctor's appointment. I had done the first 12 questions of this logical reasoning section that I'm working on, and today I'm going to pick back up just because I haven't been feeling well. So today I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. But like I said, I'm going to finish the remaining 13 questions in this logical reasoning section, and then I will go from there. Unsure whether or not I'll be doing anything else or another type of section today, just because it is a little later in the day, because I'm still not really feeling 100% my best, but I wanted to get something in, so that's what I'm doing now. So yeah, as always, I will come back on at the end to let y'all know how it went. See y'all then.
So I'm kind of letting that sink in. So why would you say, why might that be a good thing?
Because it may be easily accessible.
Okay, it's a lot more salt water than there is fresh water. Mm-hmm. How would you summarize for me what actually is the argument we're trying to strengthen?
I feel like the argument is that the salt tolerant plants require more water, and so they believe that using salt water would be cheaper.
Yes. So the argument, in a lot of ways, the argument is the conclusion. So if we're trying to strengthen.
Hey y'all, so what's up? Your girl, it's back, getting into the swing of things today. It is Friday, September 15th, and I am in one of my favorite places, sitting outside on the porch, doing some reading before I get into my study session today. So, all right, y'all. So your girl is about to get into logic games. I'm just gonna try to focus on that today. Maybe try to attempt to do 2 games, and then I will probably give my tutor a call to see if he can help me kind of go over what I did and what I didn't do. And yeah, just go from there.
And going one rule at a time in order. So what does this rule tell me?
It tells you that G comes before F.
So in this diagram, how can I incorporate that into this diagram?
You can put F after HGF. It would be HGF.
Yes, and I put a dash here to show somewhere after, not immediately, but somewhere after. Okay, can I do that in this order?
Yes.
How?
Oh, well, no, because there's a G there.
Yeah. So there's no way to do it. There's an inherent contradiction.
It's because I was under the impression that I could build on what I had did for 2, and I wasn't looking at it as if like each one is separate and comes with its own set of rules.
That's a good point. So 2 gives you new information, but that information is only valid for that question.
All right, y'all. So I just finished going over the 2 games that I did in this section. I attempted 8 questions, and out of the 8 questions, I got 5 right on my own. So it's a little better than the 4 or 3 that I normally get out of the entire section. So we're gonna take those small wins today. Me and my tutor went over both games and did the questions together for the ones that I just didn't really have any guidance or really understanding about how to set them up. What are the big takeaways for me today in terms of us kind of working together? I would say that really paying attention to the answer choices that are the most limiting, because the ones that are the most limiting will help me narrow down which answer choice is usually right. I also really learned that like the systematic approach is really important. So basically, if there is a diagram whose rules are straightforward, then you don't necessarily have to use the systematic approach. But if the rules are not straightforward, then you do have to use a comprehensive diagram. So basically using the rules the rules that are presented in the new question, using those rules in comparison to the set rules that they give you in the initial question. That might not make sense, but that's what I understood. The first one was a sequencing game, and then the second one, I'm not sure what it was, but I definitely know that I'm pretty good at sequencing games because they're usually 1-to-1 ratio, and it's just more straightforward. Yeah, so super appreciative of him being patient with me today and going over the logic games, as well as the strategies and tools that he offered me to be able to apply to the next ones. That's a wrap for today's study sesh. I was attempting to do game 3, but your girl was confused, so I'm gonna have to stop right there. And I will pick back up on Monday. Hey y'all, so what's up? It's your girl K Lotus Life, and I'm checking back in again for a study sesh. I did not get a chance to study on Monday because I had a doctor's appointment and had to run some errands and stuff and didn't get enough time to study. So I am resuming today, and today is Thursday, September 21st. It is the 21st day of September. I'm actually working on the 2 remaining logic games that I was hoping to work on Monday that I didn't get a chance to. Struggling, if I'm being completely honest, definitely struggling, but I am trying to work on them untimed and just giving myself as much time and grace as possible, trying to figure it out on my own. I made a call to my tutor, so hopefully he and I will be able to meet sometime today to just go over the ones that I had absolutely no understanding on or of today. All right, y'all, so it is still the same day, September 21st. I worked out, took a shower, and my tutor and I are just now being able to meet, so y'all are about to see some footage of us going over 1 or 2 of the logic games that your girl couldn't figure out on her own. I've set the rules up the same, but I guess the diagram, I did not draw the extra 3 to the side.
You could still try to solve it without that, but it would be harder. The discard pile is very helpful. So 4 of these violate rules. Is there any answer choice that doesn't have one of those, at least one of those? An F and T.
No F, N, or T, E.
Great. E doesn't have.
Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl K Lotus Life checking in again. Today is September 28th, Thursday, September 28th, and it is 2:26 p.m. I'm about to plug in for my study sesh today. Goal or the agenda for today is that I will be completing the 15 remaining questions that I did not get to complete on Monday because I didn't have time to study in the logical reasoning section that I was working on, and then I will be doing for my second half of studying, I will be doing 2 reading comprehension passages, which is a total of 14 questions. So the goal is to study for 2 hours today. All right, y'all, so I just completed the 14 questions and 2 passages from the reading comprehension section that I just started. I didn't do bad. I did actually pretty good. So out of 14 questions, I got 11 right. I don't know if it was, the content or the topics being talked about that made it, a lot easier, or just made me feel more comfortable doing the questions and reading the passages. But I'm really proud of myself. Haven't really worked on reading comprehension in a while, so it's nice to, still know that this is my strong suit and that I'm capable of doing really well on this section. So yeah, that completes my study sesh for today. I will be studying tomorrow as well. All right, y'all, so what's up? It is Friday, September 29th, 12:15 p.m. So just a little bit afternoon, and I am getting started on my study sesh for today. Studying for 2 hours. So the first half, I'm going to be focused on logical reasoning, trying to redeem myself after yesterday's kind of bust. And see if I can, try to just do a little bit better on this section, focus a little bit more, maybe attempt to do part of an analytical reasoning section, maybe just 1 game, see how I feel about that. So yeah, that's the goal for today. Okay, y'all, so I just finished doing those 14 questions in that logical reasoning section, which is about half of the section. and I got 8 out of 14 correct. Still not where I want to be with that, obviously, but I'm just at a point where like I feel like I shouldn't continue to beat myself up. I should just be focused on getting as much practice in before I take the test, so that I feel more confident when going into test day. So that's just my focus right now, trying not to beat myself up mentally about not scoring or reaching the score range that, you know, I hope to score. When a lot of the ones that I did get wrong, I second guessed myself on, which if you guys know and I've been watching since the first diary, that's something that I really struggle with. This go around, I really tried to pay attention to each like little passage that they give us for the logical reasoning questions and identify what the claim is or the premise, and like what is the argument or the evidence that's supporting that claim or that premise. And so I tried to like go in on each question and like actually kind of like highlight or box out, you know, what the claim, what the argument, what the premise, what the evidence is. I think I'm actually going to just try to do the game and then call him to go over everything at one time, even though I know he doesn't really like when I do that. But trying to be a good steward of my time today, and I have about 55 minutes left in terms of my study session today, because I was doing 2-hour time blocks. So yeah, I think that's the game plan. And as always, I will come back and update y'all on how that logic games practice goes, and maybe y'all will see some recording of me working with my tutor going over those things as well. Qualified teachers. Wait, one more time.
Okay, so here's what you need to do. Here's the tool that you can use. First, and you can use scratch paper to organize this if you want to. You're organizing the argument.
All right, y'all. So it is now 3:21. So I actually spent an hour pretty much reviewing with my tutor, which y'all just saw clips of. But I did a lot better personally, I feel like, on the logical reasoning section that I did. I did another set of 14 questions, and out of the 14, I got 8 questions right. And then the second half of the study session, I did one logic game. It was a 1-to-1 correspondence. And I got 3 questions right on my own, and then 2 I just had a hard time setting up and needed guidance on. So that's what he was coaching me through in some of those clips that you all saw before this. Yeah, what are my big takeaways from today? I would say in terms of logical reasoning, I need to just sit with some of the questions. Like, although I feel like, you know, yes, there's going to be a timer. Yes, there's going to be, you know, a certain amount of time I can allot to the questions during test day. Like, I'm not there yet. And so if I need to spend more time on one question to really understand what the argument, what the assumption is, whatever it is, where the flaw is, whatever specific thing that the question stem is asking me, like, take that time to do so. So I really appreciate that he like reaffirmed me in that. And then understanding really the what and the how they're arguing what they're arguing is very important. And then biggest thing was I need to pay more attention to the abstract language and how they're using that to throw me off. A lot of the questions in logical reasoning, the abstract language was effing your girl up, okay? For lack of better words. Was definitely tripping me up. And then he also just said to pay more attention to the questions that I know I'm absolutely not confident in, because if I'm not confident in it and then I go back to review or check the answers and I got it wrong, I shouldn't feel bad about that because I wasn't confident in it to begin with. Sounds obvious, but like that really helped, you know, hearing that from my tutor today. And then he also just continued to tell me that like a lot of the language that I'm seeing is literally like what you would call contract language, like these small things of like at least one or more than or most of, like all of these little stipulations that can change the situation or really what the answer choice is, definitely determine, you know, how I'm perceiving what's right and what's wrong. So definitely paying attention to that. Yeah, and then in terms of analytical reasoning and my practice with the logic games and our review, I feel like the biggest thing is just, if I don't know what to do and there's new information, the go-to is always to add it in as supplemental rules and then try to diagram it. Always pay attention to the rule that is the most limiting, right? The rule that does not allow you much movement. And so, yeah, that's what I'm taking away from today. Next time I study will likely be Monday. I'm going to take this weekend to try to decompress and, like I said, not beat myself up about not scoring where I am or where I want to be. And just continue to do the work, continue to be consistent, continue to be faithful, continue to seek out resources and help that I do have, and take it a day at a time, take it a week at a time, take it a month at a time. And yeah, so that's the recap for today's study sesh. And like I said, I will see y'all on Monday for the next one.